Hi, so in this video I'm going to be showing you how to export stems in Ableton. So the first thing you're going to want to do is label each of your tracks with the corresponding instrument or sound that it is. So I have a kick track, I have a hat track, and Congo drum track. And this is going to be helpful for when you export and organizing it. And I'll show you what that means a little bit later too. So the second thing you're going to do is clean up all the other things you don't need. So I'm only going to want to export this one scene here. So I'm going to get rid of all this extra stuff here. Likewise, if you were looking to export your track from the arrangement view, you would make sure that it's only the area that you want. So you would use the loop bracket to select the area that you want. It's going to be whatever is going to be in that track. So you may want to get rid of everything that's tailed, that's in the end part here. So that way it's just the selected area. There's going to be excess stuff there. So the next thing after that, the third step is going to go to File, and Export Audio Video. And under this part that says Rendered Track, I'm going to click the drop down and just select selected tracks only. This way that only these 8 tracks that I have selected are going to be exported. I'm just going to hit export. I'm going to go to a file. I'm going to go to I'm going to save a folder, and I'm just going to call it 120 wells. And the reason why I'm calling it that is because 120 is for the BPM, and I'm going to just name it wells because that's the name of the track that I'm working on right now. And for the actual file name, I'm just going to get the same thing, 120 and wells. And the cool thing about this is that it'll actually render out every stem that I have and add the corresponding name of the track to that file. So it's going to say 120 wells and then kick, 120 wells hats group, 120 wells Congo group. So it kind of helps in organizing each of these exported files. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually now I'm going to drag each of these into their own tracks here. Throw them up there. And again, these are being brought into again, they're the same scene. What I'm going to do is actually going to show you that there's no difference in terms of audio between them now. In the original batch of my original files here, I actually had levels in all kinds of different ways, and I actually even had a group. My Congo group was made of 3 Congo samples, and they were also mixed all kind of wonky. So the cool thing about exporting stems through this way is that it's kind of like resampling, but in a batch form. So you're batch resampling. So instead of having to make a separate audio track and then recording the audio from the group track, you're able to actually just export all of these and make new and resample them to individual files, and also in a nice organized way, because if you look at each of the clips, they have the name of the file that it was, so 120 wells, and then also the audio track that it was from before. So if I were to bring in files from another, I have another file here, so if I go to this one here, I can grab in the clap effect and just throw it in there and play it too. But what I want to show you is actually that you're actually not losing any quality of audio here. So if I use Ableton's crossfader function, I can actually bounce between each of these files so that you can hear what it will sound like. So this is on deck A, you have the original file, and on deck B you'll have the exported file. So I'll play it here if we can hear it. So this is the original. Now I'm going to bounce over to the second one. It's actually not any different at all. I can go between them, and there's almost like no difference between what you're hearing. And so that's basically how you export stems in Ableton. It can be kind of viewed as like batch resampling. I guess that's what I'm going to call it. But because it does help you save on time when you're, instead of having to resample individual things like one at a time, make a new audio track, route the audio. If you're looking to just get something quick and have it all already there, it's good. Again, there's more ways to do things than just one specific way. And again, this is a great thing for helping you out with the workflow, helping with your workflow, collaborating with other artists, because this is basically how you share ideas, and your stems are basically audio files that you have like loops for. So again, like, I mean, I've just brought in a clap from another track, and I'm gonna play it on top of this sample now. So I can play the original scene, and I can also add the clap track to it too. That's kind of cool. And again, you can also just adjust the clip gain within here. So if it isn't loud enough, you can also just adjust it within the clip options too. Again, you're gonna want to set the warp mode to Complex Pro to kind of save on all that, but make it like sound better. But for the most part, that's basically how you export audio. Watching.